I'm 73 years old, and I'm about to share something with you that might make you uncomfortable. But you know what? It needs to be said. Because let's face it, no one else is going to say it to you. Everything you think you know about getting older is probably 100% wrong.
At 52, I thought I had it all together. I was busy with work, climbing the corporate ladder, and ticking off all the boxes society said I needed to tick. I had the house, the career, the respect from my peers. But none of that mattered when I had a heart attack during a regular meeting at work. I was in the middle of discussing quarterly projections when suddenly the room started spinning and everything went black.
The next thing I remember was waking up in a hospital bed, tubes connected to my body, and my wife sitting beside me, her face full of worry.
The doctors called me lucky to be alive, but what they didn't know was how that moment was a wake-up call I never saw coming. As I lay there in that hospital bed, with nothing to do but think, I realized the terrifying truth. I had been living my life on autopilot. I was simply going through the motions, meeting everyone else's expectations, work deadlines, career goals, financial targets, without ever stopping to ask myself if I was truly living. It was all just noise. I hadn't been present. I wasn't focused on what truly mattered to me. I was living for others, not for myself. And that realization was crushing.
Lying in that hospital bed, I had a lot of time to think. The doctors told me I was lucky to be alive, but all I could think about was what I'd been living for. I looked around the sterile, white room, and something hit me hard. What would I have left behind if I had died that day? At that moment, I realized that, despite all my material accomplishments, my home, my career, my bank account, none of it really mattered. Those things weren't the legacy I wanted to leave behind. I hadn't spent enough time nurturing the relationships that meant the most.
I hadn't called my parents as often as I should have. I'd missed too many family dinners, and I hadn't truly been present for the people I loved. I had been so focused on climbing the ladder, meeting deadlines, and achieving external success that I had ignored the things that truly gave life meaning, connection, love, and memories.
That realization was a punch to the gut. All the achievements I had worked so hard for didn't matter as much as the relationships and experiences I had neglected.
If I had died that day, I would have left behind a bunch of things, but not enough of the things that really made life worth living. It was a sobering, life-altering moment that completely changed my perspective. For years, I lived under the illusion that later was my time to live. Later, when I had more money. Later, when I retired. Later, when I was less busy. I kept telling myself that one day I would slow down and focus on what really mattered. But later never came. I was always chasing the next big thing, the next milestone, the next success.
Each goal I reached felt like a victory at first, but then the thrill faded, and I was right back to the grind, chasing something else. Looking back, I realized that I wasn't living. I was just existing, waiting for a moment that would never arrive.
When I got a promotion, I thought, now I can relax. But then, I just wanted the next promotion. When I made more money, I thought, now I'll be happy. But then, the desire for more money grew. I kept setting new goals, but I wasn't enjoying the present. It was always about when this happens, I'll be happy rather than embracing life as it was right then and there. The truth is, the later never comes. It's just a never-ending cycle. And what I learned, too late, was that life isn't about constantly looking ahead. It's about embracing the moments you have right now. There's no perfect time, and the more you wait, the more you lose.
For much of my life, I chased success as if it were the ultimate prize. I worked tirelessly, climbing the corporate ladder, securing promotions, and earning the respect of my colleagues.
I thought that achieving these goals was the key to happiness, fulfillment, and security. But after reaching what I thought was the pinnacle of success, I found myself disillusioned. I realized something crucial: success, at least the way I had defined it, doesn't lead to lasting happiness. Yes, I achieved everything I set out to do. I made partner at my firm, bought the house I dreamed of, and had the respect of those around me. But after each achievement, the satisfaction was fleeting. I felt a rush of pride for a moment, but it quickly faded, leaving me wanting more. It was like a hamster wheel I couldn't get off. I had spent decades chasing something that always seemed just out of reach, never fully satisfied with what I had. The more I achieved, the more I wanted, and the emptier I felt. I now see that success is a terrible goal because it's never enough. What I should have been chasing was fulfillment, not external markers of success, but personal contentment, meaningful relationships, and inner peace. Those things last far longer than any promotion or paycheck ever will. The regrets that keep me up at night aren't the business deals I missed or the promotions I didn't get. It's the moments I let slip by because I was too focused on other things that now seem insignificant. Looking back, the real pain isn't in the failures I had, but in the things I didn't do, the risks I didn't take, and the people I didn't spend enough time with. There's the trip to Japan I always wanted to take but kept putting off because work was always more urgent. The relationship with my brother that I let drift apart because I was too busy with work and didn't make the effort to reconnect. The book I always said I'd write but never started because I told myself I'd have more time later. These are the things that haunt me now, the what-ifs that I can never go back and change. I've realized that the things we truly regret in life aren't the things we did wrong, they're the things we didn't do at all. The missed opportunities, the words we never said, the risks we never took, and the relationships we neglected. Time is the one thing we can never get back, and it's these little moments that slip away quietly, without us even noticing, that we'll wish we had appreciated when we had the chance.
So what are you waiting for? Start living intentionally today, because time isn't something you can get back. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's make the most of the time we have left. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time?